today's topic, we'll be talking about the culture shock that I've seen all over the world, across the world, okay? Hey, nobody told me that in some countries, especially Spain and Latin countries, that in the afternoon, business do not operate. Here is the reason. It's something we call siesta. All right, so the people from that region, they have to close the business and they have to go home for an afternoon nap. All right, I went for lunch at one point and the amount of food was brought to my table. I looked at the server and I was like, is this supposed to be mine? And they said yes. So the amount of food that is served in Greek restaurants is a lot. They're generous with their portions. They are so generous with their portions and you just want to stay there.
Welcome to Grace on Board.
Hello world, welcome to my channel and this is Grace on Board. Welcome back. And in case you're watching me for the first time, please feel free to subscribe and join us. Welcome again. So in today's topic, we'll be talking about the culture shock that I've seen all over the world, across the world, okay? So when I say culture shock, I mean this is not something in my culture and there's nothing wrong with it, but I was like, yeah, this is interesting. How do they do this? So it's always interesting to learn about people's cultures, and I'll be highlighting some of the few interesting cultures that I learned as an African person working on board the ship and going all over the world and seeing the difference in culture, okay, which is quite interesting. So let us highlight the cultures that I find interesting. So one of the first culture shock is the driver's seat position, okay? In Kenya, we use the driver's seat position on the right side. And I came to find out in some countries in Europe, and I think in the US, is left-handed, okay? So the driver's steering is on the left side, whereas in Kenya is on the right side. So they're using left, we are using right back in Kenya. So let me tell you how this is a culture shock to me, all right? So in Kenya, when we are crossing the roads, usually we try to ignore the traffic lights and the zebra crossing and all that, and we want to use the traditional way of looking at the driver and asking for a signal from them, like, could you hold on a minute? Like, wait. And then after crossing out, just thumbs up to the driver, okay? So shock on you who thinks that the same thing out there, because I tell you what, some countries are strict. You have to follow the street lights. You have to like observe, and the drivers are so patient. They have to wait for you to cross. Unlike in so many places, I've seen that in many scenarios that the drivers truly ignore the traffic lights and the zebra crossing. My point is, if you're used to signaling the driver in his right side, you might be looking for the driver on the right side in another country and they are on the left side to signal them, so there'll be nobody to signal you, and that would really make a mess, okay? So I don't expect in some other countries of the world to find the driver's seat on the right side, because some of them are at the left, okay? Some countries in Europe and I think in the US, if I remember right, okay? So that was one of the culture shock. I'm like, left-handed. When I took an Uber, left-handed. Like, yep, yes. And that is that was interesting to learn. So the other culture shock is the way the metros are so common in Europe. So this was in Amsterdam. In Amsterdam, they call it the railway, not the rail. The rail is in between the road. That is in Amsterdam and Rotterdam. Is in between the road. Like you are about to close, you think you're only going to be keen because of the vehicles, but that's not the case. You have to be keen because of the vehicles, the motorbikes, and now the metro or the tram that is passing there. I don't know, not the metro. I think it's the tram, right? Is the tram, metro, and the train. People in Europe, please help me with the difference between the three things, because in Kenya we only have the train, okay? We only have the train. This tram, metro thing, I've seen it abroad, okay? So tell me, what's this one that it's in between, especially in Rotterdam, okay, that you know, there's this wire on the top that it goes like this. Come on, I didn't get the actual clear picture of it, like how to call it, but I think it's a tram that passes through the road and the metro passes underneath, right? Please, people living in Europe or in the certain scenario that I'm trying to describe, help me differentiate between tram, train, and metro. Okay, I'll be glad to learn more about it. So my point was, when you're about to cross the road, you might, even though they make sounds, okay, you might need to be extra careful. Unlike in Kenya, we only have one route for the train, which is the railway, and it would be rarely somewhere on the road. And if there's an intersection where you see the train at the same time you see the road, the cars has to stop for the train to pass. Not like something which is happening after 10 minutes you see the tram, after 10 minutes you see the tram. No, that one has a specific time, or maybe 3 times in a day. Yeah, welcome to Africa. So my point is, you need to be careful because the metro, the tram, they are running up. They are running the whole day. After like 10 minutes, and that is it. Okay, so that was one of the culture shock. Like, you get my point. Okay, so the other one was food in Europe, and this is especially in Greece. Oh my god, the amount of food is huge. Huge. The first time I ate in Greece, was it Crete or Split? No, Mykonos. This was Mykonos. Actually, it's written as Mykonos, but is pronounced as Mykonos or Mykonos. Okay, I'm not Greek, but at least I know it's Mykonos. I hope I'm right. So I went for lunch at one point, and the amount of food was brought to my table. I looked at the server and I was like, is this supposed to be mine? And they said yes. So the amount of food that is served in Greek restaurants is a lot. They're generous with their portions. They are so generous with their portions, and you just want to stay there, live there. All right. So that is one of the culture shocks that I found, because I find many people in business, they tend to minimize the amounts of portion for food, but in Greece. So moving on, the other one was pack and pay. So what do I mean by pack and pay? Like when you go to a store, a department store or a supermarket, you shop your stuff, you bring to the counter. So this is how it goes in Kenya, okay? You go to the department store or you go to the supermarket, you're gonna put everything that you need in the cart, and then you're gonna proceed to the counter where the cashier is. So this is Kenya, okay? And you're gonna remove everything from the basket or from the cart and put on the cashier's desk, and they'll be scanning for you. After everything is done, then you'll be paying. If it's by card, they'll give you a PDQ. You run your card. By cash, you're gonna give them cash, and then they're gonna give you your change. Okay, this is not the case in some of the countries. So the first time it happened this way, we were in Gibraltar, by the way. So in this supermarket, so I have shopped for everything, put in a cart, and now, as my usual habit in my country, I there was only one cashier, but I think she was just there just to make sure everything on the floor is on flow. So this lady, I happened to remove everything in the cart, and she scanned for me, and she just leaves me, and she just walks away and proceeds with her business. And I was like, what in God's name is this? So I look around and see everybody's packing their own things, and I'm like, damn, I thought she was gonna pack my shopping and hand me over in a bag and say thank you for shopping with us. Ooh, shock on you. All right, so in Gibraltar, that was the first culture shock about packing your stuff. So you shop everything, pack yourself, and leave. So the other country I found this kind of similar thing would be in the United States. That is Key West and Fort Lauderdale. When I went shopping and I shop for everything, I put in the cart. So this one, they're not even scanning for you. You go scan yourself, scan everything, like ting, 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 ting. You scan yourself. Choose the mode of payment, cash or card. or some other options. I did pay attention because I only had an option of cash or card. Okay, if it's card, you're gonna insert your card, put your pin. Okay, or if you live there, I believe they have other methods they do with the card and all that. So I've been there for several times, and these times I have done card payment where I have scanned my card and put my pin, and payment goes through. The receipt is there. Okay, so let's go to cash payment in the US. Cash payment in the United States, after scrolling and scanning your items, input cash, and the automated machine is gonna give you the change back. Where else could I have seen that if not in America? Yes, it's gonna give you the change back. So what does this tell you? There is nobody in between where how you shopped, where you shopped, and there is nobody at the cashier. Okay, so they have minimized labor at all costs. So there's nobody in the line like in our Kenyan supermarkets, like we have somebody in the line to assist you at some point. And at the cashier, where the cashier is supposed to be scanning for me, giving me change, we don't have that. Okay, talk of development. Okay, so insert your dollars. The currency in the US is US dollars. Insert it, it's gonna give you a change back. Take your receipt, pack your items, leave. Okay, that is what I saw, and that was a culture shock. Okay, like a machine giving me change, like, oh my god, this is awesome, this is awesome, it's so accurate. All right, and it happened again in Belfast, in Ireland, where we went to see the museum, the Titanic museum, and we were about to take what did we take? Was it a bus? I can't remember what we did at the station. Yeah, and you pay, you insert your money, again, it gives you change. That is total development, and I'm so impressed that great things are happening out there, and we know as a country we'll get there one day. Okay, all right, so moving forward to my other culture shock. Hey, nobody told me that in some countries, especially Spain and Latin countries, that in the afternoon business do not operate. Here is the reason. It's something we call siesta. All right, so the people from that region, they have to close the business and they have to go home for an afternoon nap. All right, this was commonly happening between 3 to 4 or 2 to 4 p.m. All right, and you'll be going to shop at that particular time. They'll be saying, no, we're closed, we're gonna break, we're going to sleep. I've seen that. I saw that in Argentina. All right, and you're closing your business to go and sleep? And for me, it came out innocently. And she was laughing and she told me, see, and she told me, see. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I want to live here. I want to stay here. Adapt me, because I want to stay here. I mean, that's so sweet. I mean, it was such a culture shock. Every shop at that particular time in the street is silent. They have gone for break, take the siesta nap, and come back later. That's amazing. So having that kind of cultural research, or find out. Now let me tell you how it works in Kenya. Like, you'll not have somebody closing their business to go and relax. No, they work every day and every day. And I was like, it was something shocking for me because it doesn't happen in Kenya. Okay, and I was so kind of impressed because they're giving themselves a break. They're not like working themselves out. They know they need time to rest. Okay, at the same time in Argentina, I realized that it could be 11 p.m. but it's still like there's so much light. Like, it's still like daytime. It looks like daytime, and it's 11 p.m. So it kept me thinking maybe they close late because they still have the light where there should be darkness, and it was just super. I feel like I was in the end of the world. That was Ushuaia, actually, in Argentina, and they say Ushuaia is the end of the world. How sure is that? Okay, so I think that is why the wonders of the world are happening, and I feel like, oh yes, yes, let's stay here. Let's stay here. Actually, I loved Ushuaia. Ushuaia was one of my South American, one of my favorite Southern American countries. Okay, Ushuaia was great. Oh, Ushuaia. Ooh, I loved Ushuaia. But anyway, so moving forward, I would say I learned a couple of things from different cultures out there, and I'm a one person who loves to discover. Okay, and learning that and comparing with what we have, and that's when we know that there's a big difference in culture. In culture, okay. So as I was highlighting these cultures, I was as well letting you know what we do on our side, so that in case you're in that similar culture, you want to know how in Africa, like in Kenya, how we do it. You're gonna see now the differences, and you're gonna learn and know how to go about it in case you visit Kenya. Okay, but that siesta part is interesting because we're like, ay, 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 sleeping in the eye. I'm like, oh, that is so good. Ay, that is so good. But anyway, as part of my job, I enjoy traveling and meeting different people, enjoying the diversity that we have on board. All right. So I would say that is all that I have up to now loved and learned. And with that being said, I'll let you know that we have a new nail bar in town, Race Nail Bar, and we are doing this kind of nails and beyond. These are stilettos, okay? These are stilettos, and if you're looking forward for a nail bar in Thika Road, Superhighway, or a hairstylist, I could get you my hairstylist. We also do lashes. I got lashes on. Yeah, I got lashes on and nails. Race Nail Bar, Richard Scholars will be ready to assist you. And thank you for watching. Thank you for staying with me. Until next time, see you on the next one. Ciao, ciao.